we're going to rip this thing apart and put it in a mount. This is a Starlink. They're a bit big, they're a bit bulky, and they're not really good for van life unless you are stopped. So we're going to basically dismantle it all and fit it into a mount that will permanently sit on Paul's roof and get him full-time internet. Also, convert it to 12 volt. So this is the mount that it's going to go inside. It's basically going to sit inside this mount, and then it will sit on the roof permanently. But of course, we need to get rid of all the gubbins, don't we? So let's open this up and see what's in it. Right, got it all open. What's inside here? Well, quite a lot, to be honest. So that is what's inside the actual case. Now, this is where your dish will sit inside on top of this, and it will connect all into this. Also comes this box of gubbins as well. You do get a pen, you do get some other bits in there. Quite unsure what this is, but we think this is for on the dish somewhere. But we'll have a look at the instructions and find out. It is from Star Mount, and it did come from America. But basically, we've got to take this mount and we've got to cut it all the way along here, and we've got to remove this piece from the actual dish itself. Now, there is a guide online, and with the pen, and weirdly enough, the tape, let's take the tape out the package. With the tape and the pen, you basically rest the pen on the tape, you push it up against the Starlink dish, and you draw a line all the way around, like that, going all the way around the dish. But on this end, this piece here, that will go underneath this end, just like that, and then that will fold up on top, just like that, and then you will draw around this, because there must be something in there that you need to get to. And then according to the website, you basically just take your corners and draw them freehand. So that is your line that you've got going round. Also, Paul's just read as well, when you get to the bottom there, don't go all the way down to the bottom, just do little bits and then gradually gauge it. But we'll get down to that in a minute. It's the fun bit, isn't it?
A little about fun, scary.
We'll be fine. I'm going to cut it out with this and hope for the best. Right, so there we go, that is the top off. You do have these two little connections there, which you have to take off, and then now we've just got to trim this little bit out here to get access to where some of the cables go. Then we can tidy all the edge off and get it in the box. Right, after following the instructions, we got it inside the case and we realised that we needed to take more off. So we needed to cut quite a lot more off it, as you can see around here, for it to fit inside the actual case. Also, on your leg part, you have to remove this white cable. Now there is two little things in there that basically push in, and then this cable will come out of here. That's the inside piece. Right, so that's going to be your power cable, and that connects back into your board. We'll get to that in a minute. So on this cable that Paul's just taken out, you measure 2 inches of this cable and then you cut it. There we go. We've given it a little bit extra because, again, we've not really read the instructions. We've skipped through it, kind of. We're looking at pictures rather than reading.
Boys.
On the cable that you've cut off, mark another 2 inches and then cut that cable. Right, so once you've cut this cable off, that one, and you've cut your 2 inches, the piece that is left over, which is this cable, and then you basically you peel off the outer casing to reveal the cables inside. Now once you've cut all them, you've then got to make one of those. But don't worry, it does come with the cable colour thing. So right, we've got to make that into this with them. The most frustrating job in the world is threading them through there. That was an absolute ball ache. Once you got them all through there, you can pull this down so it's like that. Then we can crimp it, but we're going to check the colours first, make sure they look like them. Right, now we've got all them in there, Paul's going to crimp them using the new tool. And there we go. One crimped up socket. So you've got that on one end, this on the other. Right, so with the cable you've just made, that will plug in there, and then it will come round this channel here, and it will come over to there, and then it will connect back into your actual aerial. So get that mounted, and then we can clip it back in. Right, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go around the edges and we're going to clean up the edges with just a little multi-tool, and we're going to be plugging it into the EcoFlow. Which brings me on to the fact that Black Friday is here, and if you go on the EcoFlow website, there's going to be some massive savings on all the Delta 2 range, the River range, the lot. Get yourself on the EcoFlow website, check them out. All the links will be in the description below, and you can save yourself some money by getting yourself a good deal. We use one of these in our van. Paul relies on this all the time. He basically uses his for his air fryer and all sorts of other things in the van. They're great, fast charging. The app on them works absolutely brilliant as well. Loads of ports in the front, USBs, USB-C, USB 3. And then in the rear of the unit, which is what we're going to be using it for, in the back you've got your charging ports, your solar, your 240N. It does have fast charging as well, so it will charge really quickly. You've got 4 AC ports in the back as well. You've got your accessory port, which is there, which I can't seem to get the... There we go, plug out. Accessory ports on the back, and 2 of the small 2 amp plugs as well. We're going to plug this in here, and let's get driveling. Go and grab yourself a bargain, get over to the EcoFlow website, check out what deals you got going on. Right now, Black Friday, save some money. So we've cleaned all that up now. That looks a little bit better. It just means that it's going to fit in there better. But before we actually put that in there, we're going to flip it over, because Paul has got magnets to go in each corner. So we're going to get the magnets in, and that way it can just stick to the roof. They will literally just go on the corners there, and then they will just screw in. So 4 magnets, 1 in each corner, and that will secure it down to the roof of the van. Magnets are on, that's all ready. Now it's just a case of putting that in there and connecting it up. And let's hope that the plug we made, which is on there, will work properly. Right, so we're going to get that plug into that one there. And then the whole thing can just be dropped inside there. Right, that's now a nice fit. It just fits just a tiny little bit under the actual lip, as you can see there. So that means that when we put the top skin on, which will push down into the rubber, and it will seal it all from the elements. Right, I think before we seal it all down, we'll plug it into the EcoFlow system, because don't forget, this converts your 240 aerial system, and it does away with the actual router that takes 240 as well, and it's got its own built-in router. So we've got that plugged in. There you go, sir. Now's the test of time. Plug that in. Don't believe everything you see. Right, is it working? Do we have Starlink?
2 hours later.
We've had a nightmare here, mainly because of this. Now, they do supply you with this. This comes with the kit. It's a cigarette lighter port, as you can see. Doesn't give enough power, like nowhere near enough. So I don't know why they supply it, because it only causes confusion. So this is what we done. We went on Instagram, found the company, we messaged them on Instagram, we sent them a video on Instagram, waited a couple of hours, nothing. Then decided, right, we'll get the phone number off the website, phone them up. They're in California. I think they're in California anyway. They're in America. So phone them up, explained what was going on, explained that we'd messaged them on Instagram, to which the response was, I don't have time to message people on Instagram. Then basically told us that 9 times out of 10, it's a power issue, because people plug them into the cigarette lighter ports. Because they come with the kit. You're going to use it, but it's not enough power, so it doesn't work. So they basically may as well send you a fish with the kit, because a fish would have no reason to be in the kit, just like this doesn't. So we've ended up hardwiring it into the van's battery system, and after hardwiring it, it all works. We've not put the kit back together. We've left it all open. We're not screwed it down. We just wanted to test it. Now it all works. We can now bring it in. We can put the roof on it. We can screw it all down. We can put it on the top of the van, mount it, wire it in, and go from there. But why send them out? Wire it into your van. Don't use one of them, because they don't work. So we brought it back in. We've mounted the magnets on there. It's all in. It's all fine. Now we've just got to mount this thing on it. It does have a little rubber that runs all the way around the edges there, as you can see, and then you'll just basically plonk that on top of there, and then you do get a load of screws to come in, push down, and then that will seal against the rubber there. All the screws are in, it's all fastened down. Now it's time to get it up on the roof. The power port does go in there, and I think once it's plugged in, it's probably best putting some silicone around it as well, just to keep it safe. But that's the mount with the magnets. So let's get it on the roof and test it. So after pulling the cables through the roof and fitting them into the Starlink mount, it all worked perfectly. This is the perfect mount if you don't want to be taking your Starlink and putting it on and off the van all the time. But it does come with a price. £1,000 for this kit shipped into the UK, which is a lot of money. It does convert it from 240 to 12 volt. And it also means that it can be up there 24/7 as well. You don't have to take it down. But it's a lot of money. But it's also what Paul wanted. He wanted Starlink on the roof of the van permanently. I just wish there was an option in the UK, and I wish somebody in the UK would come up with a mount like this that we could all purchase.